Well, welcome back to the MAJO Podcast, real, raw, unfiltered. If you missed last week's episode, go run that one back. We unpacked a lot about money, worth, and some uncomfortable truths. If you're listening but not subscribed, at this point, that feels personal. Okay. So stop making it weird. Hit the follow button, subscribe, all the things. Okay.
Like, share, all the things.
All the things. So, as always, I'm Derek, and I got Jason here with me. And today, Chris is no longer a guest. He is a permanent third host of the MAJO Podcast.
Let's go.
Yeah. So we figured, at this point, he has brought so much good energy, and the three of us kind of just have a chemistry, we think, and so we felt like it was time to make it official and bring him on permanently,
Yes, sir.
and see where we go with this thing. So, Chris, you want to say anything? Any thoughts, comments, anything?
Thank you. And it's about time so we can finally be on here and just be ain't shit. I'm gonna say what you're not gonna say.
Good.
That's fine. Well, so we figured about the best way to start this next chapter was with a topic that might piss off some parents. All right. So I was watching I saw this clip this week, and this I forget who it was, the social media person. Yeah, said that, but her clip was about children being grateful, and so I'm going to read the transcript of the clip real quick, just so we're all caught up. She said, "Here's the truth: children are not supposed to be grateful for things that parents are supposed to do. Feeding them, taking care of them, showing up for them. That's just part of the job. That is not something that they owe you a thank you for. And if you're expecting constant gratitude for doing what's required of you, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. Parenting is not a transaction, it's a responsibility, period." So let's talk about that. When you hear that, what's your first gut reaction?
What the fuck she talking about? It's my first, and then bringing it back in. Like, I feel like there's different levels of gratitude. So, like, the way I feel like from what I gathered from our video, that you just, it don't matter what you do, this is what you're supposed to do, and kids can just be ungrateful as fuck all they want to be, but this is what you're supposed to do. I get that, and I get that there's certain things that you're supposed to do, but all them extra things that you don't have to do that you do, and you're not grateful and you disrespectful, that's a different level. So, but we gonna dig deeper into that.
For sure.
Yeah.
Jason, what's your gut reaction?
To me, I look at it like, if you don't teach them to be grateful for all of it, you're not teaching them to be grateful for any of it. And it's one of those things. Like, do I want them to grovel at my feet and thank me and bless me for all the things that? No, I'm not asking for all that. What I'm saying is if I make you food, if I go to the trouble to make you food and you don't tell me thank you, you just grab the plate and go on and be like, yeah, that's right. My basic need. Like, you better provide my basic need. Like, what? I'll get you 300 kick chest kick. Just not like spark up. But
because you could be eating pork and beans and hot dogs, but here we are eating steak and lobster.
And to me, like, honestly, like, I'm either way, you better be just as thankful if it is pork and beans as if it was steak and lobster. Like, to me, like, it's just, and it's a basic thing. You're teaching them to be grateful for somebody doing something for you. Because then if you don't get them to be grateful for that, then they're going to go outside the home and somebody's going to hand them something. They're not going to be grateful for that either, because they're going to think it's their, they're going to grow up, they're going to expand
That's
what
owed
they
to
believe.
them.
Yeah, their basic needs are going to, in their mind, it's going to expand the thought of their basic needs.
Yeah, I mean, so I hear you. I guess my my pushback is, I think what you're talking about is the difference between appreciation and entitlement. Like, I don't think that, for me anyway, and I know, like you said, we're going to dig into it, but my initial gut reaction was similar to y'all's when I first heard it, but then I re-listened to it and thinking about what she's saying, like the things that are required of us, right? So I think that's where the difference between entitlement and appreciation comes in. Like, I do think that teaching them appreciation, to be appreciative of things, is good. I think I sit with a lot of parents that think that their kids should believe that they owe their parents something for everything that they do for them. And that's where I think that I kind of took a step back and and looked at it differently of what she was saying of yes, we should see, appreciation. Yeah. So I think that that's where it's like, well, they're not appreciative. They don't, everything I do for them, all this and stuff. And there's a part where I'm like, man, that's part of that is normally that developmentally normal. So anyway, and I know we'll get into that later. So have you all ever expected gratitude for basic responsibilities as parents?
As far as like cleaning and like chores and things,
I'm thinking like, but what? So maybe we break it down a little bit further. What do we believe is basic responsibilities of parenting?
providing a roof over your head, putting clothing on your back, and feeding you and teaching you to be responsible human beings. Anything else, like, the Jordans, the PlayStations, the TVs, the decorated rooms, the cars at 16, and all those things are extra things that you don't have to do, but you do those things because you choose to do those things. You know what I mean? So I think so I guess again, like you said, like when I went back and watched it again, like it made me like look at things or view things like a little bit differently. Because at first it was like, what? Again, what the hell is she talking about? Like, nah, that's not how it worked. But then like, you know, other people can view it as all the small things or every single thing, but I don't ever feel like or ever want my kids to think that they like owe me something.
Okay.
Now, I have said before, like to my son, now if you make it to the NBA and all the sacrifices I done made, the shoes, the games, when you the wins, the loses, I'm motherfucking tired. Now, if you decide to buy me a house or something, I ain't gonna be bad. Thank you.
hmm
I said that,
hmm
you know what I'm saying? But that was just,
hmm
hee hee ha ha. But listen,
And
if you decide to, thank you.
for sure, for sure.
Yeah, no, I mean, the basic need thing is kind of where it kind of feels like it's a technicality here, it's wording here because everybody's going to think basic needs are different. Clothing, food, and shelter are kind of the mainstays with that. But at the same time, like my kid doesn't owe me anything. My kids don't owe me anything because they didn't have to be here. Like they didn't fill out an application and do the things. It's not like it was different. So I
They got
don't
here because we was being nasty. The fuck?
and that's my thing, like, what we wanted and what, that like and that's kind of the thing. Like I know kids, people freak out on kids all the time. So, like, I didn't ask to be here. Well, no, you didn't. But at the same time, like you're here and we've provided you, a certain form of, certain lifestyle and things that you have grown accustomed to. And I need you to have gratitude over the fact that, you could have it a lot worse. Like you've got friends that have
Mhm.
it worse. I know people that have it worse, and I've made sure you don't have it worse. So I'm gonna need you to kind of come a little correct when you're talking to me, and when we have situations where things like that pop up, and it's like you don't owe me anything, but at the same time, like you better watch your mouth. But that's the thing. I mean, it's you come to a point where kids need to realize that owing us something is different than being grateful for what you have or what you've been provided and those types of things because we sacrifice, we do the things like all three of us on this screen have sacrificed a lot for our kids. Now they didn't ask for it, but at the same time we stepped up and did what we had to do, and that's to be appreciated. Like sacrifices we make as adults are a lot of times things that kids don't realize until they have kids of their own. And then they realize like, oh damn, or they get old enough to understand like what money really is, what it looks like, how short, how thin it's doesn't, how much it
How
doesn't
fast
really
it go, and it really don't grow on trees.
right. Yeah, when we used to think $100 like $1,000,000, and now you look at it and you're like, well, shit, that can be gone in a day. That's
This,
groceries and gas.
this already spent.
100 ain't even enough for groceries and gas in the same day. Like you got to have multiple hundreds
None
for
of
that.
more.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't know, man. I think what you said, like they didn't ask to be here, and I think that there's like this way that society and everything that we do goes one in the spectrum or the other, and especially in American society, there's no like middle ground. And so I think people have overused this saying of like they didn't ask to be here to where now it's like gentle parenting comes in and it's like you have to talk to them like this the whole
Ooh,
time and blah blah blah
that
and all
motherfucking
these
just a
things. And as a
parenting ain't
therapist,
shit.
listen, I'm not advocating yelling at your children and screaming at your children, spanking your children. But sometimes they might need that, right? Like that don't put your hand on them, but sometimes they may need a little like, hey, listen, man, right? A little choke around the neck. Let's not get canceled.
You got me
But
fucked up. All right, don't forget now.
but I mean, I think that there is
different. It's like gentle parenting on the different. It's gentle choking.
gentle choking, just a little bit,
Just a little gentle shaking.
right? Just a little bit to the unconscious and let them come back. You know what I mean? Like it's
Get right on the verge. Like, hey, buddy, you almost lost it. How's it
right,
going?
yeah.
Hey, come back. Stop playing. Come back. I ain't pop you that hard. Chill out.
It's not over the line if they don't actually lose consciousness, right? It's if they're right there on the edge, it's not over the line. So, right, I didn't chuck you that hard. You didn't lose full consciousness.
Still breathing, right?
You better walk off.
Anyway.
Listen, if you could talk, you could breathe, so you're fine.
Oh my gosh, bro. All right.
Listen, we all heard it. We all been there. So
but I think that, so I'm curious of like, I think this comes from the way that we were parented, because I do think there was times where it felt like growing up like we owed something, like we owed our parents something. So if our parents did do something for us, like then we owed something, our good behavior, we owed, doing the chores, or we owed something for what they provided, versus like, I'm providing these things for you because I love you, and there's nothing that's required from you for these things. Now, again, like for instance, club volleyball, right? Like that's something that my girls want to do, and where me and my wife are paying for it. And I do think that there's a level of appreciation that needs to be there for that, but they don't owe me anything for that, if that makes sense. But I think when we were growing up, it was different. I don't know if y'all had the same experience.
I think you don't owe me anything, but you need to go out there and give your 100% every single time. Because I'm paying. We're 6 o'clock in the morning. We here. We could have been doing something else, and we paid for this stuff. If I'm paying for you to attend and do this sport, and you just, I don't care, or you just chilling, and it's not. I only got to be really important to you, but you gonna participate and do all the things, because I would feel like that would be ungrateful. We're showing up, we're doing all the things, and then, or I would rather you say, this isn't what I want to do, Dad, or I don't like this isn't something that, I'm doing this only because you want me to do it. Okay, well, we're going to go to 2 or 3 games, and we're going to see, you might change your mind. But then after that, like, I feel like there should be some sort of something given.
But was that the way you were parented, or that's what you think as a parent?
I think the way I was raised as a parent. But I mean, raised, but then also like, I'm also in that yo-yo of gentle parenting, and like I'm raising my kids differently than how I was raised. But I mean, AAU was crazy. We traveling out of states. Like we could have been, somebody else could have been going somewhere or participating in something. Like we didn't even let them play sports for one whole year one time because we were so focused on you and you doing this, and you told us you're 18 and you retired. I felt like it, but afterwards I didn't. In the midst of it, I felt like, nah, you gonna do something. But I had to understand and realize that, your people change them. I change my mind all the time on things that I don't want to do. So it should be okay for him to, but I should have told him before I paid.
We could have forfeited those last couple of years of extra money because you were just gonna set it down anyway. Nah. No, look, as usual, I'm the oddity out here as how I was raised, because my mom did everything in the world for me. My parents did everything in the world for me and didn't expect me to do shit. I was the worst spoiled little, like all the things people think about white kids. I was that person. I was the white kid growing up that just they had everything done for me. I have to do shit. Just laid in my bed like, Mom, I'm hungry. Bring me a snack. Like that was the shit. I didn't have to get up. I didn't have to do anything. It was a long time. Like Sarah was so mad at me, dog. She was like, "You're a grown child," and I'm like, "What?" She's like, "You don't clean. You
No,
don't
I'm
do
not.
shit." I'm
Bring my
like,
sandwich.
"Yeah."
Right. I don't need all that. Just make that sandwich, woman.
You gonna make it or no? Like, or do I have to get up and do it myself?
Mom never did all that talking. She was too busy making sandwiches.
He would just
Well.
make it for me.
You could have just made it without all the attitude, and it would have been a better sandwich.
Right.
Like it probably would have.
I could have been enjoying my sandwich while you get mad.
I'm here with indigestion with a bad tasting sandwich
Right.
because you would love.
Now I can't even enjoy it because you're mad at me. It's not gonna taste the same.
What is all of this that you're doing? My mom never did that. Stop. Just make the
Yep.
sandwich and be
She
quiet.
made it, like, and I said thank you.
Right.
I was grateful because she made it for me.
But yeah, she just like, I did not, because I didn't cook, I didn't clean, I didn't do nothing of that shit because I didn't have to. Like it was just one of those things. And yeah, so then I had a lot of switching to do when I started figuring out like parenting for myself. But yeah, no, growing up, I didn't have to. I got whatever the hell I wanted and asked for. Like it's overboard to the point where Knight Rider came out and we were like, Mom, you need a Trans Am like Knight Rider. 2 days later, her ass came home with a Trans Am like Knight Rider. My mom had zero business driving a Trans Am. If you knew my mother was a socialite. My mother worked for the Oklahoma Bankers Association with top tier executives. She had zero business driving a Trans Am, but she went and got one because we told her to. Like our whole childhood revolved around movies and TV, and we saw that shit on TV. We're like, hey, guess what? As soon as the episode was over, like we need to go to the store. We got to get this because we saw
that's what we want.
And she was like, cool, let's ride. Like she was like, it was an amazing childhood for that type of stuff. But at the same time, like it made it a little more difficult as I grew up realizing like and the same thing like what I said with my kids, like as you get older and realize like what that kind of shit really means, you look at it different and go, well, damn, like I'm not going to be able to provide my kids with the same level of stuff, but I'm still going to make it work. But at the same time, like I knew that my kids needed to have a little more independence than I had because it took me so long to snap out of being taken care of when I was younger that I knew they needed to have a little bit more kind of awareness about that as they were growing up. So I like Chris said, like I adjusted the way that I raised my kids versus how I was raised. Not out of the fact that not just because I wasn't able to afford the level that they did for me, but just also because I kind of wanted them to be a little bit better than I was.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Mine was because I had, ADHD as a kid. So it would be like, I'd get a toy and then it would be like, a day later I may act out or something like that. And it was like, I just bought that thing for you yesterday. Then this is how you're going to act. You know what I mean? Like it was always kind of like this, this wasn't just done just because I wanted to do it. It was done. And then I'm going to hold it over your head later for doing it for you if you don't do what I want you to do or act right. And there's a way in which it makes me wonder because I've noticed this a lot too, and even early on with my kids, looking back early on with my kids, like at some level feeling responsible for our parents' emotions as well. Like if I do and this is all childhood development from 0 to 10, the way kids grow up from 0 to 10 is their parents are their world, right? And so when a parent has a bad look or a parent gets angry or a parent does this, and it may not even be about the kid is watching that and they can perceive that and make it be about them. And so there's a way in which we unknowingly believe, or not unknowingly, there's a way in which as kids growing up, we believe that we're responsible for our kids' parents just innately. That's how we are. Then you add in where a parent kind of makes it seem like they'll say it like, I just did this for you yesterday and now you're acting this way and like I'm so upset about that. Well, now I'm responsible for you being upset. Does that make sense? And so it wasn't just owing you for what you're doing for me. Now I have the responsibility to handle your emotions as a parent. And I see that I did that a lot as a kid, or when my kids were young, where my emotions, I put a lot onto them. Oh, you're making me angry. You're doing this. You're doing that. Anyway, sorry, I kind of got sidetracked. I don't know feelings or thoughts about that.
I've been there. I think I mean, and then I mean, as far as like the emotional part, when I was a single dad, when I was like going through it, like my face showed all my emotions and all my expressions. Like I didn't have to say
Hmm.
anything, like at all. And then like my oldest daughter would be like, "Dad, are you okay?" And like one day, like I was sitting on the steps, like going through. It was a couple days after I had left, just like going through it. But I was trying not to let my kids see me cry or nothing. She came on the steps, like where I was sitting at beside me. It was like, "Dad, it's gonna be okay because you're so strong." What? Man, that fucked me up. You know what I'm saying? Because now I'm like, damn, like she see me hurting. She don't understand exactly what's going on, but she can see it. She can feel it and know that I'm hurting. And I think I told you this before. Like Essence was like 3 months old. When I say she was like the best baby, she didn't cry for nothing. She never got sick. Like I felt like in that time she knew, of course she didn't know because she was a baby, that I was like going through something internally. And she just was like not problematic. You know how babies get sick and like do all, like she just was a good kid. A little mean, but a good kid. So I felt like and I feel like our attachment is different than like the rest of the kids. Like me and like all of my, but like we all have our own like separate relationship, but it's just kind of like we got that like it's weird. I mean, it sounds like favoritism, which I mean they know, but you know,
Hmm.
it is what it is.
Right.
So I definitely feel that.
Yeah.
Right. And yeah, I think that that's perfect, right? Of like what we're talking about. Of I think there's a way that kids then think that they're responsible for the way that you feel, and they add that on. And then if you add on this other piece about where they owe you for what you're doing for them, and they're responsible for your emotions, like that's a lot of
That's a lot
responsibility
for a
for
child.
kids.
Hell, grown
Yeah,
folks can't handle that.
right, exactly, exactly. Jason, you're gonna say something.
No, I just was like, I never did for the like I did this for you, bought this for you. Now you're acting like shit or whatever. Like mine is always like pre things. Like if you're going to continue to behave the way you're behaving, like we're not going to do whatever it is you want to do. Like this stuff coming up, like that's out. You can cancel that shit because I'm not taking you anywhere if you're acting this way now. Like if you act this way with something when we're on the cusp of going to do something else, like you're really going to act like a dick when we're done. And like I'm not rewarding your bad behavior. Like that was my thing. But it was never making them responsible for my actions or my reactions or interactions or any of that because I just don't like I've spoken about my anger issues and things like that before, in the past. And everybody felt it. So it wasn't just they didn't feel personally responsible for it. They just knew that I flew off the handle. Like it was just an expected for me, and it didn't really have to be surrounded by anything that they did at the time. It could have been something that I was doing or trying to do that didn't work out, and I would lose my shit. So they never really felt personally like responsible unless they knew they did something directly to upset. Like they knew they did something wrong that personally, influenced my reaction or whatever. That's the only time that come into play. But it, yeah, I mean, honestly, like, it's funny now because my son feels more responsible for us now than he ever has before, and I'm like, "What are you so concerned about?" Because he's like, "Well, I don't know, just to make sure you guys are good," and I'm like, "We're fine." Like, "What do you mean?" Like, he worries himself to death. He's got anxiety through the roof, and he's always like, "Well, I just worry about you guys." And I'm like, "Why? Like, for what? Like, I appreciate it, but why?" Like, anything that would
Like, we're
anything that
good.
would be anything that would be a problem for us, you couldn't handle anyway. So I don't know what I mean, I appreciate it, like, much love to you, but nah, you got problems tying your own shoes, so I'm gonna need you to not worry about what's going on over here.
So, kind of shift just a moment because I want to talk about this. Because I think it kind of feeds into this. When a kid grows up feeling that they're responsible for their parents' emotions, they grow up feeling like they owe their parents something and they can never pay their parents back. I think that's why we are starting to see like a big, um, what's the word I'm looking for? Like shoot, I can't think of the word I'm looking for. Like an explosion, if you will, of people going no contact with their parents. right? Where they're cutting their parents off. They're distancing themselves from their parents. And so, and I know there's some people, again, I'm going to be a little bit different as a therapist. I know there's some therapists that advocate going no contact. Um, First, your thoughts about going no contact with parents. And yeah, first we'll start there before I say my opinion. What's your thoughts about going no contact or distancing yourself from your parents?
Pum.
I was like,
And
Chris. I was like,
I
Chris
don't,
is
I
no
don't, I don't, I feel like I'm in that place now. I felt
Okay.
like I've been to a place where like I wanted something like my entire life from someone. And wanted them to be a part of, not even financially, just physically, emotionally, just pick up the phone, like just that part. And this
Mhm.
person's living. Actually they're both living. But just to like want something and to try and to try and to try and to try and to constantly like kind of get rejected and always get disappointed to where it's to the point where like now they trying but still is weird. I can't do the back and forth now. Like I'm too old for like games and things like that now. So like I'm gonna, and once you do like some weird shit to me, of all people in the world, you got me fucked up and I'm good. I'd rather distance myself, disappear for a minute, let you figure it out on your own, and then we can communicate. It's never like I hate. No, I can't say I hate you. That is not I hate you because it's been I hate you before. But I just can't. I don't like back and forth. I feel like if you fuck with me, then you fuck with me. If you don't, you don't. If you know what I'm saying, like we all got the same 24 hours in a day to do the things that we do, and I've always been a person that pour into people constantly, and it's just yeah, I'm good on the no contact.
It's hard. It's hard. It's hard, especially when it's sometimes you like that. When if you can come in and come out and come in and come out, like when you come back in, what's it for? It almost feels like it's for a reason. Like it's for something other.
Always, in my case.
It's for something other than you just missed me or you wanted you didn't feel right about the no contact. It's always because there's something I can do for you or something you need that only I can provide. And that to me is not, yeah, that, unless you come to me with, where we can talk it out and say what we have to say and get past whatever it was that made us go no contact in the first place. Like, yeah, I don't have time for that because if we're no contact for a reason, and that needs to be addressed before we can even talk about anything. Like, so I went no contact, which I've talked about before. I went no contact with my dad for about a year. Because when my mom was going through cancer treatment, he was jealous by nature as a person. So anytime he felt we were spending too much time with my mom, like he would talk shit. He never took accountability for the fact of how he was when he left when we were little, like the fact that he, didn't come get us when he was supposed to and just kind of tricked off a lot of the weekends and did the things that he, where he was supposed to do as, per visitation, per the courts, per those things, like he was supposed to go or not by the courts, visitation that they agreed upon. He just wouldn't show up and do those things. And like he did a lot of just not being around when we were little. And then when we get older, he's just like, "Hey, well, why don't you guys come hang out?" And I'm like, "Well, bitch, you didn't hang out when we were little. Like now it's a problem. Now you decide you want, some friends and you need you want to hang out. Like I got shit to do." And my mom was in the middle of cancer treatment, and he talked to me one day, and he was like, "Well, I guess I need to get cancer for you to come see me too." And I was like, "Oh, oh, okay." I was like, "What you're not gonna do is talk shit about the woman that was there for me when you decided to not be, and has been my world forever." I was like, "So you, sir, can I told him where to go and how to get there and what to do with it when he got there, and I hung up, and I didn't talk to him for. I mean, there were some other things that happened past that. He showed up at my house, which was a very foolish thing for him to do, because he thought he was just gonna make me talk to him, and I was like, "See, what you don't realize is I'm an adult now, and this is my house, and you don't live here, and you can vacate, quickly remove yourself because that is not how this is gonna go. I'm not a child
Not how
anymore.
this is gonna work.
You can't just talk my shit and to think that you demand me to talk to you because that's not how that's gonna work. You're gonna have some consequences for your actions, sir. You decided to talk slick and reckless, so you're gonna just have to sit on this, until I decide that we can talk again if that ever happens." And it got to a point it took a little bit it took about a year, and when he came back, hat in hand, we talked about it, and he apologized and talked about it, and we discussed it in such a way, like, "Look, I understand that may be hard for you to get, but you gotta understand too, like, there's a lot of shit that went into the fact that I'm there with her a lot more than I'm here with you, because you not only like bailed on us and didn't do the shit with us you were supposed to do, but when we did finally come around you when we were little, you didn't protect us from the woman that you decided to marry. Like there's a lot of terrible shit that happened to me and my brother when we were growing up that shouldn't have happened, because he would just want to keep the peace and not upset her, and just straight up just like, well,
Sweep shit under the rug.
yeah, he's like, well, she said she didn't say that to you. I don't give a fuck what she said. I'm telling you right now as a child in your face that has no reason to lie to you.
Your kid.
Right. I'm a fucking child. And you're going to tell me she said, I don't care what she said she didn't say or what she said she didn't do. Like, I'm telling you now she did. And he went, well, it's fine. Let's just keep the peace. I'm not keeping the peace. Like, no, dude, like this shit sucks. Like, this is not a pleasant environment to live in. You're gone way more than you're here, which leaves me in the care of her, and she hates my guts. Admittedly hates my fucking guts. So what I need you to do is take some responsibility for what's happening here. There was years of that on top of just the other shit that happened. And for him to be shocked and surprised that I want to spend time, help take care of my mother who's going through chemo treatments is just wild to me. Like how the hell you could just pop off and say some slick shit like that was just, it never sat well with me.
So I hear both of you in that. I think where I push back on is two different things. One, as an adult child, I do think that we have been taught that it's our responsibility at some level to keep the relationship with our parent. I don't agree with that. I don't. That's a shift for me. Because there was a long time that I felt that because I believe that because I felt that, right? And so I don't think that the adult child is responsible to maintain the relationship with the parent. I think it's the parent's responsibility to maintain the relationship with the child. So with that being said, I think the child going no contact is there's a way that people use that for emotional avoidance, to where I don't have to say what I need to say. I don't have to face this emotion I don't want to feel. I don't have to say the hard thing. I don't have to stand up to you. I can just cut you off and don't have to do anything, which is kind of a way of just avoiding emotion. And so I think there's a way in which we can build emotional intelligence and maturity by not going no contact. I'm not letting this stuff slide no more, right? Like, so if you contact me, I'm not going to act like everything is gravy. Listen, we still got to deal with what happened before. If you don't want to deal with that, then cool, don't contact me. And until you're ready to deal with this thing, then you can contact me when you're ready. Until then, listen, I'm not going to move past this like this didn't happen to me. This caused me something to feel something. We need to talk about it. We need to handle it. I'm not going no contact, but I'm just not going to engage with you until you can make amends or take responsibility for what you did. Does that make sense?
Contact until you are adult enough to have that conversation with me versus sweeping it under the rug. So I love how you said that. Like, no, I said what I said. I'm standing 10 toes down behind it. If you don't understand or open to the idea of where I'm coming from about why I did this or why I feel this way, then you're not ready to have a conversation.
Right, which I think is different than no contact, where it's me blocking you. You have no access to me whatsoever. No, so you have no ability to even reach out and try to make amends. I'm not going to do that. That's where I think that I'm different with the no contact. But when I say I'm not going to move forward with our relationship until we handle this, so the power is in your court, the ball is in your court to handle this thing. And if you don't want to handle it, then you're choosing to go no contact at that point because
Yeah,
you don't want to handle your stuff.
that was a level of no contact. I didn't block anybody. I didn't ever block or they didn't lose access. They just knew better.
Oh, they block. Like you if but I said what I had to say, said what needed to be said, and I'm still looked at as wrong. But everybody in the room said the job was wrong, and you still feel like there's no comeback to that. You stand on everything that you said and feel how you feel, because that's exactly, you said it. You know what I'm saying? So you clearly feel that way. So now I know exactly where you stand. I know exactly how you feel. I don't feel safe. I don't feel like my kids are safe. Like, there's definitely no contact. Like, I don't, there's nothing, you don't get to have that access to me or my family to watch us and do all the things, you know what I mean? because you feel that way. And I want you to stand 10 toes down on how you feel. Don't change for me. Don't do nothing different for me. Stand on how you feel and be good, but no contact.
Yeah, I mean, and again, I'm not knocking anybody that chooses to do that, right? If
Right,
somebody
right, right.
wants to block them and not have that contact, I'm just saying for me, what I try to advocate is a way that you start standing up for yourself continuously. Because a lot of times children feel, again, that lean to maintain relationship with the parent in some type of way. And so, okay, I'm gonna give in on what I'm feeling about this. I'm gonna give in so that I can maintain relationship. Or I'm gonna give in because now they're acting nice and I really do want the relationship with my parent. And so I'm gonna over and that's where I'm advocating of like, nah, let's not do that. Let's stand up of yes, I do want a relationship with you because innately we all want a relationship with our parent.
Sure.
Innately, that's just how it is. And and with that being said, I am not going to continue to be treated this way. And so if you don't want to handle this, then we have nothing to talk about. It is you and you, it again, you have the power over this relationship. If you want this relationship, what are you willing to do and make amends for? And if you don't want to, okay, I respect your opinion. I respect your ability to choose not to do that. I'm gonna handle my emotions about the fact that that's your view of our relationship, but we don't have anything else to talk
And
about.
I'm gonna love you from a distance and be good and sleep
Right,
still and good at night.
right, right,
Right.
right,
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Like, there's power also in saying that you're going to love them from a distance because no contact doesn't mean you don't love them anymore. It just
Yeah.
means that you can't continue to stand to be treated the way that you were, or your kids treated the
Be
way they were.
tired.
Right. Right. I mean, but that's the thing. Like that, that part of that happened with like after my father passed away, and my stepmother tried to stay in contact with me all the time, and I'm like. I just didn't like, I didn't block her, but I didn't answer, like, I just had shit to do. I wasn't worried about that because you there were things said about my grandbabies, which you guys both know, my grandbabies mean the world to me, and what you're not gonna do is play in my face about my grandbabies, because absolutely not.
Who want the smoke? Cause
Right.
what?
Exactly. So, it was one of those things, I was just like, "Listen, like, you've said all you need to say, like, I know how you feel about me. I know how you feel about my kids. I know how you feel about my grandkids, so what are we gonna talk about? Like, what you're just telling me you're sorry now? Like, it doesn't mean shit now, 'cause you're trying to play your get into heaven tour because you're 1 foot in the
Not
grave,
the
1 foot.
tour. I know about the tour.
The tour is the worst because 'cause I'm like, "Do you realize, like, the shit you used to say to me?" And you say shit like, "Well, I just wanna apologize for the things that I said to you and some of the things I didn't get to say to you." You had all the opportunity in the world to say whatever you wanted to say to me, you chose not to. That was a
right,
choice. Like,
right.
don't come and play in my face now and be like, "Oh,
Right.
I should have been but you should have been better, but guess what? We're fucking
And
40."
listen, and I'm evil. Now look at you.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, sucks to suck, doesn't it? Like, get outta here with that. Like, I ain't playing that bullshit. Like, you had like, legitimately, when I was 9 years old, I met this woman, and now at 40 whatever the fuck, 47, she's like, "Well, sir, I'm sorry." Like, "I bet you are." Like, "Fuck, get out of here." These damn years to make this right. Now you wanna come around here being like, "Oh, jeez, I'm getting old." Yeah, you sure are. Yeah, sucks.
Yeah, you are. All right.
Mortality's a bitch, man. I'm telling you, when you start realizing that it's coming for you, like yeah, you can be sorry all you want to, but I needed help when I was 9, not when I'm 49.
I mean,
It's a little
I
and not
mean,
49, sir. You come on, come up a little bit.
Thanks, God. That was thanks you to tell me I need to be in therapy.
Mhm. Which I mean, I think forgiveness is something that we can talk about on a different show because I think that that's multifaceted too. But bringing it back, I think the point why I wanted to bring this up is this idea that kids owe parents something, even in situations like this where stepmom is coming to you and saying this, like there's this idea that you're gonna give her forgiveness just because she says she's sorry. And that's where I think this continued idea of kids owe something is becomes a problem. Like I raised them, I did everything for them. They, they made it up. They grew up and they blah 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 blah. I put a roof over their head, so I don't think that's where I'm like I don't think they owe you anything for that though. And
That was your job.
right, right,
That's what you were supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Again, like all the other things are extra. You know what I'm saying? Like extracurricular activities, like all the other things are extra things. So like doing the things that you're supposed to, like, no, you don't have to thank me for that. I mean, you're welcome, but like I feel like that would be weird. Like, thank you for buying me blankets so I could be warm at night. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right, right. Which I think that so kind of flipping it towards what we were talking about earlier of trying to define what gratitude versus entitlement is, right? So at what point does respect become appropriate? And how do I word the rest of that? Just start there. Respect become appropriate. When do we start teaching respect? When do we start teaching, and how do we teach that? Different than you owe me this versus, if that makes sense. Like it's not you owe me this, but this is how we should model being human beings.
when they start saying goo goo gaga, no, I think
The earlier, the easier. It really is the earlier, the easier.
yeah, like the earlier the better. The more I mean, cut you off, Jason. Like the more that you start pouring into them and teaching them to be proper human beings, then I mean, I think the earlier the better because I feel like the early developmental stages are super duper important that folks don't realize and wait till it's too late. Those stages are super important and feel like they matter. So it's your job to teach your child or your children or your stepkids and your grandkids, anybody that you are around constantly, it's your job to teach them to be responsible, grateful little human beings for the
But
things
here's
that they, I would say, apparently need to be grateful for, but also things that, you could just be grateful just because you don't have to have this.
but let me
You
flip
don't
it
have,
real quick. Can you teach them that, or do you have to model that for them?
I think both.
I think you
'Cause
teach
I
them.
mean, being I guess, being the parent, like they have to see it. You can't just talk about it. They have to see, you doing the things out in the world and, at the, just in general, and teaching them at the same time, like, you got to teach, you don't just leave the world to teach them. You got to do all that, that start at home.
You teach them by modeling it. I believe it's through the modeling that you teach them. But my
The actions speak
yeah,
louder than words.
right. And the thing is, like I want my kids to respect what went into getting them the things that they need and want. Like, I need you to respect the fact that you have the roof over your head, the clothes on your back, the food in the plate, the Jordans, the things like that, because we sacrificed or we went out and worked our ass off to be able to make sure that you had those things because it was harder for us when we were growing up. Or it was this and that. Like, and I never tell it like you're like you had it better than me because I did this or that. Like it was, I never brought it to him that way. But my thing is I want you to see that you know it takes a lot to do these things because I want you to know when you get older and you have kids and that things happen, like you're gonna want them to see that too. Like you don't want to ever feel like you're just being like they just don't give a shit what you have to do to get them what they want. It's like, "Well, just go fucking figure it out. Go find me the money, go find me the money, fat man. Like, go figure it out." Like, I don't ever wanna hear that shit. Like, you just better come home and just like, "You get this, yes, this stuff is cool." And I'm not asking you to, like I said, grovel at my feet or whatever, but at the same time, like, you need to be appreciative. I think being appreciative is way better to me than them being, you know, overly thankful for, "Thank you for giving us lights today." Like, don't be that bullshit. I'm not asking for that. Like, don't get it twisted and think
Thanks
that
for
I'm
letting me take a shower today.
right, yeah. "Thanks for rationing the hot water, papa." Like, I'm not
Papa.
I just my thing is I want you to be appreciative of the life that you have been provided.
That's where I think that the modeling is like we can tell our kids. So two things: one, we can tell our kids over and over and over and over and over, say thank you, to be appreciative, to show respect, to all those things. But it doesn't resonate in the same way as if it does if we model that
Mhm.
to them, like to others, but also to them. like showing them respect, showing them gratitude, showing them thankfulness, showing them those same things, letting them feel that, while also showing it to the world as well. And I think that that resonates more. And the second thing I'll say is there is a point in time, and I think parents need to understand this, that the kids being disrespectful, the kids pushing back, the kids talking back, the kids doing those things is developmentally appropriate. Like, and in the toddler stage, there is some appropriateness to the kid, like trying to fight for his autonomy, right? No, I want to do this myself, right? Like, and if you take that as disrespect versus just, appropriate, then you're going to be angry the whole time they're a kid, right? But if you're like, oh, you really want to do this yourself, I see you, right? And like, and then when they become teenagers, they're trying to differentiate from you as a parent and find out who they are. And part of that is rebellion,
Yeah.
and so part of that is gonna be talking back. Part of that is gonna be, you told me to do something, I'm gonna do something different. And so there's a way in which I think parents need to try to adjust their mind frame of like, no, like we were taught that this was disrespectful, but I think that we were taught wrong because they were taught wrong. When we really need to look at this and say, no, this is developmentally appropriate. Like it's not
I
a
was
matter of,
told
go
my
ahead.
whole life, my bad, bro, that I was grown, that I was disrespectful because I want y'all to be fair, because I want to be
Mm,
treated the same as everybody else. Like that's
right,
you being grown because I spoke up and said, well, I don't like this. This doesn't make me feel good.
right.
Oh, you being grown.
Mm-hmm. Don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, you
Okay.
grown now, huh?
Stay in a child's place.
And it's hard. And I was gonna say
Right.
it's hard because that the generation before, like we're the last generation. That's a generation before us was the children are to be seen, not heard kind of shit. And you don't better not ever
Mhm.
anything don't question authority, don't question it. I'm the parent because I said so. And that shit never really made sense to me. So I think as children grow up and get older, don't come to me and just be like, no, I'm not doing that. If you come to me and have a conversation and be like, well, why is it that, you said you wanted me to do this like this? Can you tell me what is the reasoning behind why you wanted me to do it this way? Or like, maybe I'm thinking I have an idea that I want to try to do it this way. Like, was it like, if we have a conversation about it, like the communication lines are open, like I'm cool to have that without feeling it disrespectful. But I like there's times that I've let my kids run headlong into the wall because I'm like, you're not gonna listen to me anyway, so fucking figure it out. And they come back and be like, "Well, stupid." Yeah, it was stupid, but I told you it was stupid before you did it, but you still went and did it because that was the only way you were gonna learn. And my kids now admit they're like, I'm hard headed as shit. I'm aware. That's why I let you keep falling down. Like your knees is like I told you, I don't have all the blueprint. Like the way I did it wasn't perfectly right, but I promise you, I got a map or two that your ass doesn't know about, and I can help you get there. But if you don't want to take that roadmap, like cool, but you bust your head
Let
open.
you figure it out yourself. It seems like you got it.
I got the stitches. Like I'll tape you back together again, but it's gonna be rough. Like you're gonna have a hard time. But like my daughter was she was bad too, and my son is hard headed as hell. I got one daughter she's just not. She asks all the questions, overly asks questions, and always wants to know the ins and outs of everything and has, what do you guys think about this? And that's cool. But those other two, boy, they hard headed as shit. And they both talk shit about each other for being hard headed. And I'm like, y'all, you do know
Like y'all are the same person. What do you mean?
right. I was
That'd be
like,
the worst. Like y'all all the same. Why are you mad at him for doing something that you do?
exactly. Oh my
And I find myself too, like seeing myself in all of my kids when they're having conversations like, oh, I would have said some shit like that. But like, you ain't gonna have no comeback. Like, you ain't gonna say nothing smart. You ain't joning or nothing.
I used to
So,
call my dad all the time when my son was younger. So I'd be like, did I ever do dumb shit like this? He'd be like, I mean, he's like, you did dumb shit on your own. He goes, but you never said dumb shit like that, or you never had like that. It's like my son had one of his little friends staying with us for a little while, and those two together, I mean, they
Or a
did
mess.
both of them two together didn't make half a moron, but they had all the answers to everything. Every fucking thing they could solve the world's problem. Just give them an afternoon, they'll figure it. They were the real life Phineas and Ferb. Those two fucking knuckleheads, boy. I
That
know,
was
right?
my shit.
And just do some dumb shit. And I'm like, they're trying to both talk to me one time about motorcycles and and I'm like, how many motorcycles have both of you had? None. I've had 3, so I'm gonna need you to shut up. Trying to tell me how what motor, but they just, I mean, they were confident, loud, and wrong, and both of them together gassed each other up to think they had it licked.
And
And
loud and wrong.
I'm like, y'all need to separate because both of y'all are gonna get in some trouble because y'all think y'all got it all figured out.
Mm, mm, mm.
Loud
Yeah,
and wrong.
and that is the difficulty with, I think, at what I'm facing is like letting them feel the pain of their choices, of like seeing where they're headed, and like, oh my God, I could help you. Like if you just listen to me, like I can keep you from the, and but like in all reality, the only way they're gonna learn is if they feel that pain,
And it sucks.
and
And
it
they have
sucks.
to.
Mhm.
It's unfortunate that like that's the way they gonna learn too. Because again, we can hold their hand as long as we can, but they gotta figure it out when they're home sometimes too. Like the no's might suck sometimes. Because I don't like to say no, but I do say no. But then I turn around and do it. But it's just kind of like one of those things where, like, I'm realizing, like now, my daughter's 22, that all right, no, and then I find myself being sad because I said no,
100%. 100%.
and
So
then
I
a couple hours later, like, you still good? Did you eat? Did you figure it out?
I openly did that shit with my daughter because she wasn't, biologically, she's not mine. I mean, she's mine, but she's not biologically mine. And I so overdid it because I was trying to overcompensate. She didn't want it. She didn't ask for it. She didn't need it because I was there for
Right.
literally every single thing. My presence was her present. But at the same time, like I overdid it. And my wife would be like, bro, what are you doing? And I'm like, what? I just had no idea. I'm like, what? I was like, she wanted it. We got it. We figured it out. Like, and I did the same thing with my son. I'm like, well,
I wasn't supposed to do it.
if he had to wait 24 hours to get anything in life, I was in shambles. I was wrecked. I was just like, oh, father, because I get like for me, because that was the one part about like the shit that my mom used to do for me that I tried to pass it. Like the one thing
Mhm.
that was detrimental to them and me was I was just like, right now, like let's figure it out. And they're just like, bro, it's got to be no. And I'm like,
Right.
No, it
What do
doesn't.
you mean no? What does that mean?
I'm like I could donate blood. We can sell a car. Like I got a kidney. Like what? Like we could do the whole thing. And she's like, no. I just said I didn't understand that. I'm just like that shit doesn't compute with me. Like I don't know what no is.
Yeah, it's hard letting them feel that pain, man. It's
It's
hard letting them. Yeah, it's hard letting them make them choices when you like, man, if you just listen, you would save yourself so much pain and heartache, but it's up to you, I guess.
I'm like that's how we got here. Like we had to stumble too. Like that's the only way we figured it out.
Yep, yep,
There before, and they don't like hearing that. Like I'm trying to get you here because I've been down this road before. I've been here. Might not be the exact road, but we was next door. Like damn, I was in the
yeah,
next lane. God damn it! So I'm trying to
yeah.
prepare you. That's my job.
Yeah, yeah, but that's what I'm like with the twins right now, trying to get them to eat and sleep and do all the things because they do so much, and I'm trying to help them. And boy, they
Like train their bodies.
yeah, just feed their bodies and how much training they're doing, right? And
Mhm.
doing extra stuff like they want to play and they want to, there's kids out here doing extra stuff, and I'm like, y'all need to do the extra stuff, and they don't, and I'm like, okay, as much as I want to try to make them do it, I'm like, okay, well, you're gonna have to learn then,
Right. You have to
So
figure it out.
yeah. Well, so final feelings, thoughts, comments, anything about the topic of kids owing parents or showing gratitude or anything that we've talked about? Any final words?
Nah, man, I think we had a dope ass conversation.
Yeah. I think I think that I don't think kids they don't owe us for the basic necessity things. But I do believe that there should be gratitude involved in, the things that are provided for them that, the level in which the things are provided for them, just respect and gratitude for the whole. Like I don't need them to thank me for, giving them life every morning when they wake up. Grand
Right.
Rising, or thank you for letting me have another day on this
Thank you
planet.
for busting it down, pops. You did your big one. Keep it up, bro.
I strapped up that one time with mom. Like I don't need.
That one time. Appreciate you, Brody.
At a time's golden, but I didn't need no
Other time was practice.
You need to thank me. You need to thank me for sticking around because my dad didn't. Like,
right. I'm here. God damn it.
Right. You need to say thank you. I'm here. I can go get some milk and never show back up.
And I have said, you could have been with your mama. Y'all over here got it good. I've said that. I said that.
Hey, listen, because that's the thing. I mean,
I can't say that.
Right. We did that shit with my daughter. We did that with my daughter one time because she played the whole I'm just gonna go live with my dad. I was like, say less. I had her shit packed, and he was like, we called him, and he's like, we're talking, and he's like, well, I want to thank you guys for giving me this opportunity because I've never really had an opportunity to kind of really be like her 24-hour dad. Like, and I'm really excited about this. And I was like, bro, you're not selling me on shit. Come get her. Like, no, her shit packed. It's by the door. Come on. Because you're wasting time talking to me on the phone when you need to be driving, son. Like, you need to be here already. I was like, you don't live but 15 minutes away and you're wasting.
You're not outside?
You're wasting those already. Like, come on, Bob. And 7 days, she was like, can I come home? But I was like, nah, you wanted it over there. We made her stay an extra week. And she came home.
And I'll come get him every other weekend.
Explain to you how sorry her ass was and how it changed her whole perspective. And that was the thing. Like, it wasn't even like, and that wasn't a punishment. That was she needed to realize that was, that she asked for that. She got it. And there's consequences. She's not going to be doing a bunch of hopping back and forth when she didn't get her way. And that's exactly what happened. She didn't get something she wanted, which was like the first time ever. And she was just like, well, I'm just going to live with my dad. And I'm like, that's
now life is over because you don't get what you want.
He doesn't have two nipples to rub together, but have a good time. Like, go ball out. Like, go live over there and fucking whatever. Like, figure it out. He had a hard fucking look, and he was like, I underestimate. Look, they both came back sorry.
Right. You realize life was different.
Right.
Life is different.
A lot harder doing this shit 7 days a week, isn't it, bro?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, parenting isn't about what your kids owe you. It's about what you model. Is my final thought on it. And if that statement irritated you, if you're listening this far and that statement irritated you, you probably need to sit with why.
Go to therapy. Therapy's good for people. Derek tells me all the time I should go.
He's gonna drop the link in the bottom. So go ahead and book that appointment.
Right, yeah. Hit that link.
Therapy's good for other people. I really suggest people should go.
Therapy's great for everybody else. Oh, well, so again, man, Chris, officially part of the show now. And
yes,
so
sir. I appreciate y'all, fellas.
Yep. These are the kind of conversations we want to keep having, layered, honest, uncomfortable when they need to be, funny, as always. So if this hit, send it to a parent who needs to hear it, or maybe your own parent, if they need to hear it.
Your parent, a single parent, an A-shit parent, a raggedy dad. Send it to all of them.
Send it to all of them. And if you're listening but not following, again, stop making it weird. Just hit the follow button.
Do what you need to do. It's easy. Just hit that button right there.
Right there. They even make it easy. You just got to press it right there on the video. Just hit follow.
And then you can share it, send it to your other people too. The raggedy dads, the raggedy mamas, the grandparents, the aunties. Send it to them.
We're like 28 episodes in by now. You ain't following this.
Right. If you're listening 28 episodes in and not following, we have a problem. We got to talk. Well, we'll see you next Wednesday for another real, raw, unfiltered conversation.
All right, y'all take it easy.
Good night.